A good Friday morning, Central Georgia. You're taking a live look over the city of Dublin. The time is now 6:30 a.m. here on this November the 4th. I can't thank you enough for staying with us this morning. I'm Wanye Reese.
And I'm Caitlin Heck. We have made it to the end of the week.
Exactly, and hopefully, Alex, the weather's going to be nice this weekend. Yay, nay?
We'll see.
What a response.
Look, we need the rainfall, and we're going to see some rain this weekend. So I think it's going to be nice for some people. Others are going to look outside and be like, not too excited about it. 49 in Macon, 51 in Warner Robins right now, 50 in Cochrane, 45 in Eastman. Radar picture quiet for now. This time tomorrow, though, we're going to begin picking up on some rainfall and actually looking at some fog this morning. Southern Peach County over towards the interstate there in Houston County, potentially there south of Warner Robins in the Perry area, and then over towards Eastman, about 3 miles of visibility there. Satellite and radar picture across the southeast, mainly quiet. You've got to go up into Oklahoma and Kansas to find any activity this morning. Even seen a few severe storms up there, along with snow and ice. Luckily, that is staying up there. Not a concern for us. 79 the high today. Our average high is 73, so well above that. Sunrise does not come your way this morning until 7:55. Getting oh so close to 8 o'clock, but not going to make it there because of time change this weekend. We're going to fall back Saturday night into Sunday while our temperatures go warmer. Also have rain on tap. I've got it all on Future View here in just a moment.
Thank you, Alex. Bibb County investigators continue looking for who shot two men at a West Macon home. It's a story we broke for you yesterday morning, and now we're learning more about the victims, 61-year-old Milton Jolly and 41-year-old George Brooks. It
happened yesterday on the 3500 block of Morris Avenue. That's off of Mumford Road. So we spoke to Brooks's daughter, who says the two men were close friends. Brendlyn Bailey and her granddaughter were neighbors to the men. Bailey says she's lived on Morris Avenue for many years and raised her family there. But she says crime increased in recent years and shootings are no longer unusual.
All my life work has gone to pay off this house. And now that I'm older, I should be able to reap the benefits of living in it without having to pay anymore. And I can't. My granddaughter is ready to go.
Yesterday, deputies found Brooks shot inside the home and Jolly outside. Both men died at a hospital.
If you have any information on this case, you can reach out to the Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number, it's 1-877-68-CRIME. That number again for you, it's 1-877-68-CRIME. These two homicides now put Macon at 60 for this year. Already the highest total ever with 9 weeks left in the year. Last year, Macon-Bibb recorded 55 homicides. This year's total is twice as many as 5 years ago and 3 times as many as 2016.
Well, this morning, a man sits in jail on charges connected to last Friday's shooting death of Dakari Faulkner in Macon. The U.S. Marshals Task Force helped Bibb deputies arrest 26-year-old Shavion Devontae Ashley. He's a person of interest in Faulkner's death. He faces aggravated assault charges, among others. Deputies responded to the 2500 block of Willis Drive last Friday for a person shot. They found the 23-year-old Faulkner, and he later died at a hospital. Well, today, Macon makes it into the national spotlight as part of the 3-meal series. CBS Morning's co-host Nate Burleson breaks bread with voters in Georgia to find out what's on their minds as we get ready for Election Day next week. He also sat down with Macon-Bibb Mayor Lester Miller at H&H Soul Food to talk about initiatives like Macon Violence Prevention, Macon Mental Health Matters, the Blight Fight, and improving public safety. You can watch it today on CBS Mornings.
Speaking of Election Day, just 4 days away, Democratic candidate for Governor Stacey Abrams is making her final rounds on her Let's Get It Done tour.
Oh, we sat down with her yesterday to talk about what's important to her as she runs. Abrams says Governor Brian Kemp has no concern for Georgians based on his policies about health care, gun laws, and now with housing. She says Kemp has shut down the state's portal to rental eviction assistance, and as governor, she'd help Georgians by investing in education and law enforcement, expanding Medicaid, and giving resources to small businesses.
And we should be terrified of a governor who, with the power and the resources to do right, insists on treating us wrong. I'm running because I believe every Georgian deserves more money in our pockets, more opportunity in our communities, and more freedom in our lives. And this is a governor who does not share that belief and has actively worked against those things for most Georgians.
Abrams says she wants to tackle inflation and violent crime by lowering the cost of health care and restoring background checks for firearms. Meanwhile, Governor Brian Kemp has been on a bus tour of his own, campaigning with governors from Arizona and New Jersey.
That's why we're, visiting 25 cities on the hardworking Georgians bus tour this week, just keeping our folks fired up.
Today, the governor is campaigning with former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie in Winder, Watkinsville, and Madison. According to his campaign, the governor plans a final stop in Macon next Monday. the eve of Election Day.
And today is the last day of early voting, so here's where you can vote early if you are in Houston County. There are 4 locations, including the Board of Elections in Perry. The other 3 are in Warner Robins. That's the Central Georgia Tech Health Sciences Building, Houston Health Pavilion Conference Center, and the North Houston Sports Complex. These locations are open today from 8 to 5. There is no more Saturday voting. Today's the last day to early vote.
Bibb County voters can cast ballots at 3 locations: the Board of Elections, the Elaine Lucas Senior Center, and the Theron Ussery Recreation Center. You can vote at any of those locations today from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m.
And if you don't vote early, you can still make your voice heard next Tuesday on Election Day. Here's what you need to know if you want to head to the polls Tuesday. First, know your assigned polling place. You can find that on the Georgia Secretary of State's My Voter page. Just log in, scroll to the bottom, and you'll get your precinct card with all the information. You can either print that card or get it emailed to you. You can also find your polling place by clicking the tab called My Voting Location. Next up, the rules. Polling locations statewide open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now remember, if you're in line by 7 p.m., you still get to vote, so don't leave. Another thing to remember, identification. You'll need to present a government-issued photo ID to vote in person. That could be a driver's license, state-issued ID, passport, military ID, student ID, or an employee ID issued by local, state, or federal government. All of those will work. Now let's take a look at what races Central Georgians will decide. Let's start in Houston County. We'll go from the top with federal positions. Houston County voters will help decide the seat for U.S. House District 2. Republican Chris West is challenging incumbent Sanford Bishop. In District 8, the incumbent Republican Austin Scott is defending his seat from Democrat Darius Butler. Now here's more on state positions on Houston County ballots. For Georgia Senate District 18, Democrat Chris Benton hopes to unseat Republican John F. Kennedy. For Georgia House District 146, Republican Shaw Blackman will defend his seat from Democrat Courtney Driver. And for Georgia House District 147, there are 2 newcomers. Republican Bethany Ballard faces Democrat Ariel Phillips. On the county level, 2 men hope to join the Houston County Commission. Republican Shane Gottwalls and Democrat Tim Riley hope to fill that post 2 seat.
Now turning to what you need to know for races happening here in Bibb County. U.S. House District 2 stretches into parts of several counties, including Bibb. Voters will choose between Republican Chris West and the incumbent Democratic Sanford Bishop. Now the same is true for U.S. House District 8, the race between incumbent Republican Austin Scott and Democrat Darius Butler. Now, there are several races on the state level. The Georgia Senate District 18 race featuring Democrat Chris Benton and incumbent Republican John F. Kennedy are also on the ticket here in Bibb. Then there's the State Senate District 25. Republican Rick Williams is defending his seat from Democrat Valerie Rogers. For State House District 144, there's Republican Dale Washburn. He faces Democrat Nettie Connor. The only local race on the ballot in Bibb County, the Water Authority. 5 people are running for the District 2 position. That includes Desmond Brown, Lindsay Holliday, Jeff Howell, Michelle Parks, and Marshall Talley.
Now, as election workers start to count once the polls close, we'll be working to get you information quickly and accurately.
That's right. You can find our continuous coverage in a number of places Tuesday. First, right here on 13 WMAZ. You can also watch online and on streaming devices for in-depth and extended coverage. We'll be live on 13WMAZ.com, the 13 WMAZ YouTube channel, and on 13 WMAZ Plus. All you need to do is download 13 WMAZ Plus on your Roku or Amazon Fire devices. You can also watch on your phone by downloading the 13 WMAZ app. The time is now 6:39 a.m. here on your Friday morning. It's just amazing to see how many ways that you can watch the news. I mean, I've been here going on 5 years now. 5 years ago, we did not have YouTube and streaming and all that good stuff.
Listen, I'm not going to date myself, but when I started here, Facebook was just becoming a thing.
Ooh,
Okay,
oh,
so
wow.
Yeah, and
we've come a long way.
We can add to the list. Frank may also send you a telegram. For election results. But no, not actually, but Frank, Lori, everybody's going to be here for election
all
day.
hands
We're
on
gonna be all
deck.
over the place.
Exactly. And thankfully, it's not going to be a bad day to go out to the polls that
Yes.
day.
In fact, it's arguably great weather. We're going to be talking about upper 70s, partly cloudy skies across central Georgia, looking live down in Perry. Current temperature down there is 49 right now, 49 in Macon. And Warner Robins right now looking at 51 and 50 in Dublin. We've got 63 over in Thomaston, 54 in Montezuma, 50 in Irwin, Bloomington, 50 in Dudley, and 51 to get your morning started in Pulaski County. Looking at 50 in Rochelle and 54 in Vidalia. There's the radar picture. Nothing going on out there. And as we head through the day today, we're not going to be seeing a whole lot in the way of cloud cover, in the way of rain. Just the temperature is shooting through the roof as we head through the afternoon hours. So into the 70s here by the noon hour, and then upper 70s later on this evening. Here we are at 5 p.m. Then into the evening tonight for football Friday night. Temperatures falling back down into the 60s, but notice what begins to build in. Cloud cover as we head into the evening hours. Through the overnight hours, more cloud cover, maybe even 1 or 2 sprinkles. But then once we get into tomorrow, that cloud cover is going to last through a majority of the day, and we're going to be looking at on and off showers, mainly east of Interstate 75. That's not to say you can't see anything west of 75, but the majority of it's going to be on the east side, at least for Saturday. Could even see some heavier downpours in a few spots. This is at about 8 p.m. Also going to be watching Athens closely up there. Of course, Georgia, Tennessee going on at 3:30, which you can watch right here on 13. But we are going to be looking at the threat of rain as we head through the day. Now, later on tonight, or later on Sunday morning, not tonight, we are going to be looking at the continuation of showers through the morning on Sunday, but then clearing out through the remainder of Sunday afternoon. Clear for Monday, clear for Election Day as well there on Tuesday. It does look like we'll have some sort of disturbance rolling in off the Atlantic on Tuesday. That's not going to be a concern for us as it looks to move its way down towards the south by the time we get to Wednesday. But the rainfall we're going to receive this week and potentially next week is going to be much welcomed in Georgia because now 76.6% of the state in at least moderate drought. Severe drought includes Putnam, Jasper counties, areas to the north up into Atlanta, Forsyth County up towards Lumpkin and White County, back over towards Lake Hartwell and down to the Augusta area. So the rainfall is needed here in central Georgia. This weekend, we'll also be turning our clocks back. That's going to happen early Sunday morning. The official change at 1:59:59. You're going to hit that point and then go back to 1 o'clock. Also a reminder to replace your batteries and critical alarms, talking about smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and of course, your weather radio. Today, a high temperature is 79, above the average of 73, sunrise at 7:55. For football later on tonight, temperatures cooling down through the 60s. Sunset at 6:41. This time next week, we're going to be talking about a sunset right around 5:30 thanks to time change. 82 for tomorrow, a 30% chance of rain. 83 on Sunday, hanging on to that 30% chance of rain there as well. And then into next week, 84 on Sunday. Some relief on Wednesday. High temperature of 69, a 20% chance of rain both days. You saw the uncertainty there on future view, so that's written in a number 2 pencil. But otherwise, for Election Day, 79 and partly cloudy skies.